So get this. What if the answer to a country's biggest economic problem didn't come from some fancy government report, but from a single, random email sent from halfway across the planet? I know, it sounds like the plot of a movie, but it's actually the real story of how Germany is dealing with a demographic time bomb and the totally unexpected partnership that just might save it. I mean, really think about that. This isn't just some textbook theory. For Germany, a global economic powerhouse, this is a real, everyday problem. It's a threat that could shrink their economy and gut the very industries that made them so successful in the first place. 288,000. Let that number sink in for a second. According to a recent study, that's how many foreign workers Germany needs to bring in every single year just to stop its workforce from shrinking. It's a massive, massive number that points to a quiet but really serious crisis. Okay, so how did Germany, of all places, end up here? Well, it's a story we're seeing in a lot of places. The generation of baby boomers, the ones who literally rebuilt the country after the war, the Wirtschaftswunder or economic miracle, they're all retiring. And because Germany has one of the lowest birth rates in Europe, there just aren't enough young people to fill their shoes. This right here shows you the cliff that Germany is staring at. A study from the Bertelsmann Foundation think tank projects that the workforce could shrink by a staggering 10% by 2040. Now, that's not just a little slowdown. That's a direct hit to the country's entire economic future. So you'd think the solution would start with some big political meeting, right? Nope. It actually started really quietly, back in February 2021, when one single email landed in an inbox in the city of Freiburg in southwest Germany. A guy named Hans-Dirk von Ungern-Sternberg, who worked for the local Chamber of Skilled Crafts, gets this message from an Indian employment agency called Magic Billion. And the message was pretty straightforward. It was basically, hey, we've got tons of young, motivated people who want to learn a trade. You interested? And this quote just says it all. You see, that email couldn't have come at a better time. German employers, especially in old-school trades like baking and butchery, were, in his own words, desperate. They really had nothing to lose. So they figured, why not? Let's give this crazy idea a shot. And that one decision would end up changing everything. Not just for these German businesses, but for a group of young people thousands of miles away. So let's meet some of these pioneers. To really get the desperation, you have to look at a trade like butchery. The head of the local guild, Joachim Lederer, lays it out perfectly. The work is tough, and for decades, young Germans have just wanted to do other things. And the result? The number of small, family-run butcher shops just fell off a cliff. From 19,000 in 2002 to under 11,000 by 2021. We're talking about the slow death of an entire craft. But while all these German shops were fighting for survival, a whole generation of ambitious young people in India was looking for their chance. In a country with a gigantic youth population, good jobs are incredibly hard to come by. So when Magic Billion advertised for the first ever Indian butchery apprentices in Germany, 13 people jumped at the chance. One of them was 21-year-old Annika Miriam Shaji. For her and for so many others, this was way more than just a job. It was a ticket to a totally different life. It was the first time she'd ever left India, and she was driven by this powerful dream of seeing the world, earning more, and getting the kind of security Germany is famous for. And Annika was just the beginning. Pretty soon, others started to follow. You've got Ishu, a 20-year-old who left the busy suburbs of Delhi to become a baker's apprentice in the quiet Black Forest. He's happy to make more money and, breathe some clean air. And then there's Ajay, who has a degree in mechanical engineering but couldn't find a job back home. Now he's training to be a truck driver. So here's the key thing to understand. This isn't just a bunch of random stories. It's happening because of this incredible demographic equation, where what one country has is exactly what the other country needs. It's like a perfect match. This slide really just lays it all out. It's like a mirror image. On one side, you've got Germany, with its aging population, a workforce that's getting smaller, and employers who are desperate for help. And on the other side, you have India, a country with 600 million people under the age of 25. That's a huge surplus of young, ambitious workers who are ready to go. Aditi Banerjee from Magic Billion really puts a fine point on it. That number, 600 million young people, is just mind-boggling. It creates this massive labor surplus in India. So this isn't just about economics. It's about a whole generation that's hungry for opportunity. Germany has the jobs, and India has the people. And what started out with just 13 apprentices has worked out so well that it's gone from this tiny little experiment to a full-blown national strategy, with both governments jumping on board.
The speed of this is what's truly amazing. So in 2022, the first group arrives. That same year, the two countries sign an official partnership to make this whole process smoother. And then, just 2 years later, Germany more than quadrupled the number of skilled work visas for Indians, from 20,000 a year all the way up to 90,000. That's a huge jump. And this chart just shows you the result in black and white. In less than 10 years, the number of Indian workers in Germany has just exploded. We're talking from around 23,000 in 2015 to over 136,000 today. That's almost a six-fold increase. It's incredible how fast this whole thing has taken off.
But forget the policies and the numbers for a second. This quote right here, this is what it's all about. Remember Joachim Lederer, the head of the Butchers Guild? He didn't just talk about the problem, he actually hired some of the first apprentices himself. And his takeaway is so blunt and so powerful. His business, one of the last of its kind, was literally saved by these young workers from India. So you can see this is about a lot more than just saving some butcher shops. We're talking about a fundamental shift here, and it's spreading into all sorts of other fields, which raises some really big questions about what comes next. And this is where the story gets even more interesting. It's not just about trades anymore. In the same town where Annika works as a butcher, the mayor, Diana Stoker, is now hiring kindergarten teachers from India. Why? Because, as she puts it, looking overseas is now the only possibility they have to fill these essential jobs. Which really brings us to a final, fascinating thought. What we're seeing here might be more than just a quick fix. It could be a blueprint for the future of work around the world. It's not just about shipping goods anymore. It's about the smart, targeted, and mutually beneficial movement of people, where one country's demographic surplus directly solves another's deficit. It's a powerful model, and you can bet we're going to be seeing a lot more of it.